Yashahime, Princess Half-Demon is the Inuyasha sequel series starring Sesshomaru and Rin's twin daughters, Towa and Setsuna, as well as Inuyasha and Kagome's daughter, Moriha, with guest appearances from the children of Muroko and Sango, and also reappearances from all of the old cast, or at least all the important old cast from the original series. Basically, there is a demon lord that is opposing Sesshomaru called Kirin. He honestly seems like a pretty cool, honorable dude, but his sister wanted to get rid of her emotions because she had a thing for Inuyasha's dad, and so she used the Shikon jewel to seal them up into 7 demon pearls that got, shot out all over the country, 3 of which ended up in the control of our main characters, and 1 of which took Towa, who I would argue is actually, the main character of all 3 of them, to the present day to be raised by Kagome's younger brother. She has memories of her sister, who she got separated from, and due to other entities trying to possess these pearls, they all end up meeting up before going back into the past, because Setsuna's basically had her memories and dreams stolen by a butterfly, and Towa wants to take out this butterfly, and then Setsuna and Moriha are also there. Moriha's, I think, of an interesting character. 1, because I actually find her to probably be the most likable of the new cast members, but also because she was just kind of sold to slavery in a very confusing scene, to be honest, and no one cares about this. It's real strange, because she was put under the tutelage of a woman with cursed body armor, and then the woman just basically sells her to this corpse guy who's like, hey, you've got to kill demons for me to make back the money you owed. But Moriha wasn't indentured to this woman in the first place, so that whole scene kind of made no sense. I hear it might make more sense and be less rushed in the manga. I have to assume it makes some kind of sense, but that scene, because he's just well, you can either go back to fighting demons in the mountain, or you can come work for me, and that doesn't make sense. Why would she have to go back to the mountain? She already conquered the mountain. So yeah, that whole thing is kind of dumb, but I had my suspicions about this corpse part seller the entire time, if only because he always refuses to pay Moriha, even though he specifically knows she's already done the bounty hunting missions, and yeah, he's basically this whole shady underplot that the show doesn't even talk about Moriha basically being a slave and forced to risk her life and kill demons for this fucking shady dude. No one seems to give a shit. Not to say that I dislike Towa or Setsuna. Setsuna has this sort of terse, standoffish sort of personality, which makes sense because she was raised in 3 different locations and people tried to kill her entire life, very similar to early game Inuyasha before the necklace ends up taming him. Whereas Towa has a much more idealistic personality derived from having grown up in the modern era. And all the cast is likable. It's nice to see the old cast. It's nice to see what's going on with them. There's a bit of an underpining mystery about why Sesshomaru is such a shitty dad, because early Inuyasha Sesshomaru, sure, but Sesshomaru in final act at the end of the series, it's a little weird, and there are starting to be bits of information that are leaking in, and the show does slowly give you the backstory of all of the characters and helps you get to know them. So there's some good character establishment, and you do see the characters sort of come together, so there's a bit of character development. And so this whole mystery angle where all of the plots slowly unfold and slowly reveal what happened to the original cast is a nice, pleasant experience. The combat, I think, is probably a little less exciting than some of the more noteworthy fights in the original series, but it's nothing to dislike, and there are at least 2 really strong fights, mostly whenever the main cast go at Kirin. And what I will give this a lot of credit for is that finale. Not necessarily the final battle, although the final battle, like I just said, against Kirin is pretty good, but that actual last scene with Towa and Setsuna and Sesshomaru, and then the drain just stops as he hands over the Tensaiga, very good, very dramatic, and honestly, I have a theory what's going to happen, but going into the part 2, I am on the edge of my seats. I'm very excited. Twitch and Discord in the description. I've been Sacrobolic, your Envoy of Hope. Bye-bye.